UAE Mideast-based investor RAK Minerals Metals is pumping $1 billion over the next half-decade into Indonesia. They're going to start work on a railway network and coal jetty to transport coal to the Middle East. Indonesia is the top exporter of thermal coal. Madhu Koneru, Managing Director of RAK joins us from Singapore today as part of the Asia Mining Congress, where he's taking part. Good morning, sir. Why the investment decision? Why now? And why this particular space within the commodities industry?
Primarily because the Ras Al Khaimah government has been developing infrastructure over the last 5 years within Ras Al Khaimah, and one of the biggest challenges which we have in developing the economy locally is the power. So Ras Al Khaimah government is going for a coal-based power plant, which is very surprising in the Middle East, but that's the best solution they have right now. And for them to go for a coal-based power plant, they would like to have their own coal reserves. So that's the reason why we decided to invest in the coal mines in Indonesia.
Where do you see coal demand going? With the recession on our hands, it would seem like a thermal coal demand, perhaps production, are going to be in something of a weak state compared to where we've seen in recent years. No?
True, I agree with you, but at the same time there is a minimum consumption which is required all over the world. 50% of our production is going to go into Middle East as a captive supply. The balance 50% will go into the open market, so we are pretty comfortable with that.
You have not given financial details on the planned project yet. Are you able at this point, Madhu, to give us any indication about the capital demands on your company?
True. We will be investing close to about $1 billion in East Kutai region, which will be over a period of next 5 years. The major chunk out of the $1 billion is about $500 million, which is required for the railway track. And the railway track, concerning the financial crisis, one of the things is to make sure that we get the coal at the cheapest price. And the only way we can get it coal at a cheap price is to make sure that we transport large volumes on a railway track, which is 1/3 the cost of transporting by barges or road right now.
Okay. And where is this coal going? Do you have? I'm sure it's way too early to actually be negotiating contracts, right? This is going to be some ways down the line. But do you have some geographical partners? Do you have some certain clientele, sort of a footprint in mind?
Yeah, 50%, like I mentioned earlier, 50% of the production, whatever we produce, is going to go into Ras Al Khaimah by itself. The balance 50% will go into the spot markets.
Okay. Beyond this project, what other opportunities do you see out there? What comes next for the company, or is this one going to keep you occupied for some time?
We will continue to look at other coal mines within the corridor where the railway track is being laid. If there is any brownfield assets in the existing corridor, we will start looking at going and working with the mine owners or acquiring these mines. That's the priority number one. Priority number two is we will be continuing to look at other brownfield assets within Indonesia and any other copper assets in the Asia-Pacific region.
You're also involved, of course, in much more than coal. Tell me about copper and the state of your copper investments right now. A lot of industrial metals have really taken a whack as of late because of lower and lower demand for industry, for civil contracting. Do you see a bounce back anytime?
True. At the same time, we are focused on minerals which are related to the infrastructure directly, because we see that there will be a certain minimum infrastructure development which is required in the Asia-Pacific region. So our focus is in raw materials which are related to infrastructure. In that, we have selected copper and coal as the commodities which we will focus on. And copper is concerned, with regard to copper, we have been seeing a lot of price fluctuations, but at the same time, when we invest, we invest in greenfield assets, where we take a long-term pricing into the business model. So when we take a long-term pricing into the business model, even $4,000 is a little higher than what we expect.
And what other countries are you not currently in, Madhu, which perhaps you're starting to eyeball a little bit, where you're getting overtures from governments to maybe help them out developing their resource space?
Last 3 years we have invested in Congo, we've invested in Armenia. This year it's Indonesia. By end of the year, as of now, we've still not started speaking to any other country. We would like to get the Indonesian project up and ready, and at least kickstart the construction of the railway track, and then we will start looking at the next project. I think it's time now we look at things one by one.
All right. Kudos to you. Hats off for throwing money into an economy at a time like this, and best of luck. We'll chat more in the future and keep tabs on you, okay? Madhu Koneru, Managing Director, RAK Investments out of Singapore.